I don't know how, I mean, I'm not a guy, so. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm doing these a little different today just because of I'm trying to pre-record some of these vlogs so I'm not so busy during the holiday season, because my husband and I both come from divorced families, so we have to be everywhere during the holiday season, and I just want to relax. I don't want to have to, you know, make videos on a time schedule. So I'm pre-recording this. I hope you love it. So I asked my Instagram followers questions or assumptions about me that they thought. So like as a romance author, some of them were really funny, and some of them were like really spot on, like how did y'all know this about? So I'm gonna go through each one. I have about 8 of them because they kind of all like went through the same question, so I try to narrow it down. So I have about 8 questions that I will, or assumptions that I will talk about. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Whaley. I'm a full-time romance author. I also write under the name of Marlee Cross for like dark paranormal type romances. My Jessica Whaley books are cowboy, small town, western romances. That's how I keep the two apart. But I do a lot of my vlogs, I talk about both. So yeah, and they're all linked down below in the description if you want to check it out. All my books are on Kindle Unlimited, and I have a Paranormal Why Choose trilogy. Book 1 is releasing in December. ARCs are still open in November. I think they close at the end of November, so you can check all my socials for those, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're gonna get into the assumption question. Okay, we're gonna start out with the easy ones first until we get into the good ones. You're an introvert at heart. Yes. So I like to say that I am both an extrovert and an introvert. It just depends who I'm around. People that I feel like truly love me, my authentic self, my true self. I don't have to sugarcoat myself or put a filter on myself. I'm a very extroverted around them. But then people, I can read energies really well. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry. But like, I can pick up on people's vibes really easily. I've always been able to do that. But like people that I'm not sure about, I build tall walls around people until I know I'm safe, and then my walls come down. So I do start out as an introvert, but when you really get to know me, I can be very extrovert. This one made me cackle. You have conversations with your characters throughout the day out loud. Yes, I do. Okay, so when I was writing Letters to Magnolia, me and Logan Parker, I don't know why I do this, but we have conversations. When I was writing, so my Why Choose Paranormal trilogy that's coming up, it's got 2 main male characters in it. So I like almost like pick a conversation between them to write about in the book. So book 2, I know y'all haven't even read book 1 yet, but like book 2, there's a bunch of banter in it between the main guys, and that mostly comes from my conversations with them. This is a good one. At some point, you will name a villain or write them loosely based off someone you know. Yes. Letters to Magnolia, the cheating ex-husband or ex-fiance. Colin's book, Alyssa's abusive ex, yes. And then Underworld, yes. And I really don't have a villain that I've loosely named off of Still with Deception that I can think of. But yes, Letters to Magnolia and Protecting What's Mine, those definitely. I feel so seen in this assumption. You have many stories running in your head that you desperately want to write. If you're a writer, you understand this, but yes, absolutely yes. There's a notebook on my desk that is full, and I mean slap full of ideas. And then I'm really bad at starting a rough draft, and then when I get about in the middle of that rough draft, an idea hits me and I want to go write that book. And I'm like, no, homegirl, you have got to focus on what you're doing at the task at hand. Stay in your lane, and then we'll go do that eventually. So my work in progress notebook, like my idea notebook, I'm almost on my second one, let's put it that way. There's many books to come for y'all, I promise. So this assumption about me says, you ask Justin how a man would respond or act in a certain situation that you don't know and then tweak it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot of the guy point of views, I'm like, so I'm always afraid that I'm gonna make them sound feminine. And so I'm like, I'll read the scene to him or the paragraph to him, and I'm like, does that make sense? Like, is that what a guy would say? Is that how he would react? Or does it need to be more violent, need more broody, more manly, more alpha male? And he'll like help me on that. Now, the spicy scenes, yes, he will help me on that, because I don't know how, I'm not a guy, so I don't know how like that stuff works. So I'm like, hey babe, like I'll read the scene to him, and I'm like, does that sound like normal? Is that okay words to use? And he's like, yes. And he's like, let's change that for just tweak that word a little bit. And I'm like, okay. This one is also a little TMI, but there's a certain part in Underworld that it made me think of. So, you only write what you know for spice. So yes and no. Underworld. Underworld, there's a scene in Underworld that I pulled fully out of my imagination. Even Justin was like, how did you write that? Because I have no experience in that. And this is fiction, y'all, okay? Fiction. I let my imagination run in some of these scenes. There's sometimes I have to be like, okay, let's tone it down a little bit. But I do not write what I only know. Most of the time, yes. I would say it's 50-50. It depends on the scene, the genre, what's going on in the book, how graphic the book already is as far as violence. So like my darker stuff, my darker stuff definitely comes from most of my imagination, because like that's just the theme, the brand, the genre of that style writing. Okay, so these last two assumptions kind of go together, so I'm gonna read them both off. Most of the trauma in your books is your own, and you write through your own past traumas to heal. Yes and yes. So I will never, honestly, probably never come out and say what's my own experience that I've tweaked in the book. So they're not full on accurate to my trauma, but they're enough to where I can write about them and kind of like heal from them. Underworld was a big part of that. Protecting What's Mine was a big part of that. And then kind of still with Deception, because I've always felt like a loner, a misfit, someone who could not always be like authentically myself, because I grew up in the Bible Belt and around people who like to point fingers and tell you what you're doing is wrong, and some of the stuff that I like, which is like the witchy, paranormal type stuff, I've always felt like I've had to keep that to myself. So with writing this trilogy, it's really allowed me to be authentic and write what I love, and it's fiction. So like it's let my imagination run wild, because I'm able to create a whole other universe, because it is paranormal, it is witchy, vampires, werewolves. So that's been so much fun to do. This was so much fun. If you have any more assumptions about me, put them down in the comments, and if I get enough of them, I'll do a part 2 to this. I honestly didn't think I would have any like people put anything in there, because I didn't know like if people would have any about me. But thank you for being here, and thank you for watching my journey. It's been surreal the past year and a half, almost 2 years since I started this journey of being a romance author. And my 6th book comes out next month, or not next month, it's almost November, so my next book comes out in December. And I appreciate every one of you who has just been here to support me, whether it's read my books, talk about them, post about them, review them, every view watched of these videos, repost, comments. Thank you so much. Like, you don't know how much I appreciate them. But I hope y'all love this vlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.